Sorry that we took such a long break. It was like 3 weeks since we've done a video. My family got sick with a stomach flu. Well, actually, first you got sick with a cold.
I got sick with a bad cold.
Then I got sick with a cold. Then my family got the stomach flu. Then our van broke down, so I couldn't go anywhere for a week. So now we are back together finally again.
Yes.
So today we are going to make baked chickpea snacks.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
A girl in our church, shout out to Anna if you're watching this, she gave us some cans of chickpeas and challenged us to make something with it, so we are going to do our best.
It's the time of day when after naps the kids are always wanting a snack. Usually at my house it's popcorn or something like that, so I've always wanted to try the chickpea snacks before, just never have, and I thought, well, this is a perfect time to try it. So we thought we'd have the kids be our taste testers and see what they think of these snacks. So I'm excited to try them too.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
So we've got 2 cans. We looked up the recipe online. It says to open the cans, rinse and drain and rinse. And I think we should maybe pat them dry because I want them crispy.
Yeah, I feel like it will go quicker if we do that.
And so then our recipe says after we do that to pre-bake them for 40 minutes. So we'll have
no oil or anything.
Yeah, so we'll have a little chat time during that process. So this shouldn't take too long. So
drain and rinse.
Drain and rinse, and then I'd pat them dry too. I'm gonna line our cookie sheets with paper towels, and then we'll just take the paper towel out.
Feels like planting microgreen peas. This is exactly what it looks like.
So it did say the 2 flavors. It said to do the flavors in batches. Don't try to do more than 1 flavor on a sheet, which is just to me
common sense.
A reasonable thing.
Yeah, I don't know why they had to specify that.
but
like try to put barbecue and cinnamon
there's
sugar on
usually reasons why there's weird rules, like don't blow dry your hair while you're asleep, you know. So,
well, there was that one person.
Somebody must have done it. So anyway, we're gonna do our best here.
It doesn't look like a lot.
It doesn't, but that might be a good thing because what if we,
I suppose,
decide these are
disgusting?
Yeah, but they're not going to be. Surely they're going to be really good. So anyway, the 2 flavors that we have decided to make are cinnamon sugar because sweet. I mean, I love sweets. I have a big sweet tooth. And then we thought we would do a savory one, a pizza flavored one, which I have this tomato basil seasoning. And I love this on cottage cheese for a cottage cheese bowl. So good.
That smells very good.
It's so yummy.
Can I smell?
So we're just gonna bake these for 40 minutes at 375 degrees. It says to shake them once halfway through. So we'll do that too. I don't know if we'll film that part, but we'll do that. And then after that, you put the oil and seasonings on and bake them for another 10 minutes or until they're as crispy as you want them. And then it says consume immediately. So by that time, I'm sure our other napper will be awake and ready for his snack. So I think I actually just heard him.
Yeah.
So anyway, we will put these in the oven and then we'll chat a bit while they bake. So sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay.
So I thought it would be fun to talk about in our early homemaking years ways that we've made our homes more homey or creative things that we've done to
change things up. When you want to do a little change, you want to do a little renovation, but you have no money at all.
Right. Yeah. So
it can still be done.
Yeah.
The results vary.
Yeah.
So what do you feel is the strangest thing you've ever done to do a renovation?
Strangest. You go first and I'll think.
Okay, so the strangest thing I've ever done? Mm-hmm. Strangest or dangerous?
Let's go both.
One time I used a circular saw to cut a closet in half, which I don't recommend doing that, but I wanted a bureau. We lived in a trailer and had small bedrooms and small children, and I wanted to use one bedroom for the girls to sleep in. This was before you were born. Mm-hmm. It was before you were born. And one bedroom for playing. And so I wanted all the clothes to fit in the one bedroom that they were sleeping in, and so I had a bureau that was just like maybe an inch too long for the closet, and I thought, you know, I have little girls, their dresses are this long, and you know, a bureau could be under and the clothes could fit on top, like hanging up on the rod, but it didn't fit. It was just a little bit too much, and so I'm not the most patient person in the world, and even less so when I was younger than I am now. So I decided I was going to saw the closet off, not realizing in a trailer there's metal in the casing. So I get a circular saw, which I had never used in my entire life, and I start trying to saw the closet in half. I mean, I'm lucky I didn't cut my foot off. I really am lucky I didn't cut my foot off or something. That thing starts going, because I'm like, I'm going to just cut it right. This is a totally irrational thing to do, but in my mind at that time, that made perfect sense. So take it out for what you want. And so I was cutting it. It hit that metal. Smoke started pouring out of the room, set off the fire alarms. So now I have two hysterical toddlers who are screaming and crying because they're petrified. And I am like, I'm not letting this stop me, because I'm almost there now. I've got half of this torn out, and I did it, and I put the bureau there. And this little caveat here, back when we were first married, my husband worked 2 nights a week away. So he would leave one morning, be gone that whole night, that whole next day, and come home the following night. So 2 times a week I was by myself for 48 hours with the kids. So I had to learn to do a lot of things that I wouldn't otherwise have done, or not necessarily learn them, but I would get myself into situations that wouldn't have happened if Alan had been home and reined me in a little bit. So anyway, that was probably the craziest thing I ever did, but it did work. It didn't look good. It did not look good at all. But probably the most unconventional other than that was, we had in this same trailer, it had that wall board that already has a design on it, and it had little tiny blue flowers with little viney things. There was a small pattern, but green is my favorite color, and I really wanted green in that room. I had green curtains to go with it, and I decided we couldn't afford new wallpaper or sheetrock or anything like that, and so I had a brand new green Sharpie, and I thought, I'm just gonna see if I color those little blue hearts on this wallpaper, which there were thousands of them. I'm not even kidding, thousands in this room, with a green Sharpie. So I had chosen a spot where I'm like, I'm just gonna try this, and then it's behind furniture, so if it didn't work out, no big deal. So I tried it, and it looked really good. So I just kept going. So it took me literally a whole day of I must not have done much else except for color, you know, even though Bethany and Hannah were little. You weren't born yet either. And I colored every one of those hearts from blue to green and changed it. It looked like brand new wallpaper. And I had just gotten done. And I remember my friend Lisa had stopped by, and she came in right as I had gotten done, and I was so proud of myself. And I said, do you notice anything different in here? And she looked around and she said, no, not really. I said, you don't notice anything? She said, no. I said, all these hearts used to be blue and I colored them all green. And she literally went, oh my word, you did. So, quite a crazy thing to do, but it didn't cost any money at all, and it made me happy and made me feel like I had something new. Right. So that's probably the craziest thing I've ever done. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't think of anything like totally off the wall. Anything that was off the wall, I would have done with her.
Hey now.
It's true though, you know it's true. Right after my daughter was born, she was probably like a month old, like on a whim one Saturday night I decided that I was going to make a closet into a bookshelf. And so I took the door off, painted it, took all of the stuff out of it, and filled it with books.
I forgot that used to be a closet.
Yeah. And it was filled with like random stuff, like for some reason we kept a bunch of acorns because we thought we were going to plant oak trees. So we had like bags of acorns in there. We had paint, tons of seeds because we had a farm, so it made sense that we had all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I cleaned that out and painted it white. And I think it only took me a couple hours start to finish, but that was probably not the greatest time to do that late at night with a 1-month-old. But it got done, and I really loved it. And yeah, it wasn't like crazy or anything. I can't. Can you think of anything
You
crazy?
had a lot of different things you did in your first house. Like
Yeah.
you had that one little weird unusable space,
Yeah.
and you made it into a desk area.
Yeah.
And that
we
was
did do
really
that.
cute. Yeah, you did good with that.
Yeah, and then in my kitchen, we painted the cabinets, and
We
that was
did-
like one afternoon.
We did
wasn't
that,
it? Like the day after Thanksgiving or something.
and we were going home that day.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
we got it done.
Yeah.
That was stressful.
That was very
It was
stressful.
very stressful.
And then at the
But
same-
it looked nice.
Yeah, it
just
did.
tidying it up a little bit.
Yeah, and then I ended up finding some contact paper at the dollar store that I put on the countertop because the countertop was like the old laminate and was all cracked and stained, and so I put the contact paper on there, and it held up decently well.
Yeah.
It upgraded
Just
at least
but
a
it
little
just
bit.
made it feel to you a little bit more
Oh yeah, I
tolerable.
remember. I was just thinking today. I sent a picture to the group chat of a picture of the kitchen after we were done, and I just kept saying, "I can't believe this is my kitchen," because it was so
Yes.
pretty. I mean, looking back, it was very simple and
Yeah, but it
not
made
at all
it
anybody's dream kitchen. But compared to what it was before,
Right.
and knowing how little money we had back then to be able to do anything, like spending just a little bit of money on a gallon of paint was like a big deal.
yes, when you weren't
Yeah.
like have a like even a very low grocery budget or anything like
Yeah.
that, but to buy anything like that is
Yeah.
like that's not absolutely necessary. But I remember you found a bunch of like paints.
Mm-hmm.
Paint
Yeah,
cans or whatever.
I was gonna
Yeah.
talk about that one next. In my bathroom, it was like kind of like the color of these walls here, like a creamy color, but more of like a yellow. And I really wanted like a greenish blue bathroom, and I wanted to do a remodel, but obviously that was not in the budget when we were first married. This was probably when my oldest was about a year old when I did this. So the most I spent on that entire renovation was $10. That was for new knobs for a dresser that I found. So I found a free dresser on Marketplace. It smelled like secondhand smoke. So I left that outside for probably, 2 or 3 days in the sun, and that took the smell out of it. I cleaned it, painted it, put new knobs on that we got at Lowe's for $8. And then we found a bunch of free paint on the side of the road, and there was like a grayish color, a blue, and then I think like white, or no, the same color that we had in our living room, like the yellowish white color.
Okay. Yeah.
So I mixed that all together, and I got like the exact color that I wanted, with no leftovers either.
Right.
And so I
No
painted,
touch-ups.
No, so I painted the whole bathroom in that color. I painted the trim with some white paint that we had, and the only other money that I spent was a little bit of like macrame. Is that the word? Rope.
Yeah.
Macrame rope from Dollar Tree. I got 2 packages of that for $1 each. I put a potted plant, like I made like a little potted plant holder thing that I hung from the ceiling. I put a potted plant in that, and so just with that rope and the knobs is all the money that I spent, and it looked like a brand new bathroom,
Yeah.
pretty much. It was pretty cool.
There's a lot of times I found that, I've heard of like shop your house. And so sometimes just moving your furniture around into a different location, or thinking, oh, this picture would look better over here in this room, and you know, it just feels like a refresh, and you don't have to spend any money, just do something a little bit different. And so there's lots of things you can do when you don't have any money, and you know, or have very limited money. And we both love thrifting, and wish we had more opportunity to go, and I wish we had more stores locally that we could thrift from, because I always love to get a good deal thrifting. So but and we've shared with each other over the years too.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, I really like that. Oh, you can have it. Oh, why don't you take this? And so our things become each other's, and and that's been fun too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to think of any other things that I've done. There's so many that I've done over the years. I remember I had a set of stools, and
I remember.
And the bar stools at my other house, and I can't remember what color was on them. I can't remember what the fabric was, but I have always loved green.
Wasn't it similar to our old couch, like the rough fabric? It was like gray and has like little tinges of the red.
It could have been.
I feel like it was like that.
But I found this really cute green and white gingham check fabric. And so I found the way to get the tops of all those off, and I refinished them. And so and staple gunned, and you know it, and they
lasted a long time.
They did, yeah. And I loved it. It's just something so simple, and I think it was old curtains actually that I'm really one for redoing curtains and making them into something else. So I'm not the best decorator ever, but I do love thrifting. I like being very thrifty and frugal, and I like the challenge of what can I do with very little. And so it's just fun. Yeah. It was necessity, and now it's just fun. But
yeah, once you get used to it, then you don't really know
how
to think any other way.
So I have a really hard time with that now. Yeah. From living frugally out of necessity for so long, and even though I don't have to live as frugally now, I don't really know how not to. So, which is good and bad. It can be bad to like be like, oh, want to go on vacation, but I don't want to do anything once I get on vacation because it costs money, and so that's not always so good. So can't take my money with me. Not that I have a huge abundance of it, but you know, so that's kind of hard.
Those are tips. Well, our stories about our frugality in our early homemaking years, and how it has, and how it's carried over even into now. We're both still relatively frugal people.
Now we're gonna go check. We're gonna go back. Our snack should almost be ready for the next step, so we'll see you in just a minute doing that.
All right. So it just came out of the oven, and we're gonna add the. Okay. Try one.
So they're crunchy. Okay, so we're supposed to add a tablespoon of oil. Go ahead and do that if you want. Each. She's got one can and I've got the other can. And we're gonna do different flavors like we mentioned. So, tablespoon of olive oil, so that the spices can stick to it.
I have like the pizza flavoring, the tomato basil one.
And that's about a tablespoon that she's got. And then I've got cinnamon and sugar, which is a tablespoon of sugar and a teaspoon of cinnamon. So we'll just stir those up.
Does this have salt in it? I feel like it's going to need salt.
It might need salt.
Yeah. While we wait for those to bake, I actually did forget about one of the frugal things that we did when we were first married. So after my daughter was born, like literally the week she was born, we had to replace our well pump or something. I can't remember exactly what. Something with our well went bad. We had to replace it. And ever since then, our water pressure in the kitchen was awful. So I would be washing dishes literally with like a trickle of hot water.
I forget about that.
Yeah, with like a trickle of hot water. It was awful. And I did that for probably 2 or 3 years at least. And finally we got a new faucet, but it was about this much too tall because the way that my sink was set up, it wasn't like this where it had the window. It was off to the side underneath the cabinet.
Very weird.
It was very strange. And so the faucet that we got was too tall underneath that cabinet. So instead of just getting a different faucet because we couldn't afford to get a different one, this one was on clearance. My husband cut like a little notch out of the cabinet up top so that the faucet would fit into it. So it didn't look very pretty, but being able to have water pressure to do dishes was like life changing. I
Yeah.
felt so rich.
And then you got a dishwasher.
Yeah, we got a
And
portable
that-
dishwasher.
That was even better.
Yeah, and it was a portable one, but we ended up just what do you call it? Not hardwire, like hard
Plumbing.
plumb.
Hard
plumb.
I don't know if that's a word, but yes.
Like
Fixed
make it
in fix.
Yeah.
Stationary.
Yeah, we made it stationary. So we had like all these like tubes and stuff coming out of it and going underneath cabinet doors and stuff that you could very visibly see, but it made it so I didn't have to do dishes by hand anymore. So
Yeah,
it
that was
great.
a big game changer. I
Oh,
don't
it
know how
was.
many
It
sinkfuls
was.
of dishes I did at your house over the
Yeah.
years.
A lot. But yeah, I remember feeling very rich that night after having water pressure for the first time in several years.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, your plumbing in that house had quirks.
It sure did. It sure did. Probably, well, even before my son was born, it had its quirks, but it had a lot more after he was born when he started flushing toys down the toilet.
Yes. And then all of a sudden, I remember I had been there, I mean, multiple times, and didn't have any issues. And then I remember one time I went to take a shower, and I'm like, my skin is gonna boil off. That's one thing you might have had a lot of water pressure, but you definitely had hot water. That's for sure.
Yep. Yeah, our mixer valve had gone bad, and so it was either cold or hot. There was no in between. It was bad.
Like, I can't get in this. I mean, I like hot showers, but that was intense.
Yeah, there was sometimes that the mixer valve would work just fine for weeks on end, and then all of a sudden it wouldn't, and it would make like a clunking sound. Like it would go gunk gunk, and then it would be really hot. So if you heard that sound, you knew it was going to be really hot. You'd have to keep turning it off and on and off and on and off and on until the clunk sound went away, and then you could have a normal shower.
I think now, your house now, you just turn it on and it's hot.
Yep. Well, for 10 minutes.
Yes, but I mean, it's
not
scalding
on anymore.
you, it's not being all weird.
Yep. It is really nice.
But in a weird way, I miss the farm a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a lot of work for you guys, and I'm excited for whatever comes next for you. But we had a lot of fun times there.
Happy memories there.
Well, a lot of crazy things.
Yep. I'm sure we'll probably get into some things. I'm sure we'll probably get into some of those stories at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe not all of them.
Maybe not all of them. The internet can't handle that.
Yeah.
Some things just need to stay between us.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it was a good starter home, but we're happy to be where we are and looking forward to where the Lord has us next. For sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Do you think they'd be in more or no?
No.
Mine tastes like cinnamon toast crunch.
I like yours better.
You do?
Mm-hmm. A lot better. Those taste, I mean, they're good. It just reminds me of like eating the half pop popcorn kernels.
Yep.
Maybe with just like some different seasoning.
They would actually be really good on a salad instead of croutons.
Yeah, that would be really good. I don't think I'd eat them by themselves as a snack. These ones I definitely would. I like these. So all in all, I think it was a success. Would I do it again?
A lot of work.
Probably not.
Probably not. No.
Yeah,
Thanks,
they're
Anna.
decent. Yeah, thank you. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.